Hey everyone, my name is Krimson and I want to welcome you to my very first review since 2013. Man, I can't believe it's been that long since I've done a review. Well, back in 2013, I only got a chance to do reviews of movies and TV shows, but the original intent of the segment was to review not only that, but also games, collectibles, and figures and whatnot. Well, here we are in 2025 and I'm finally getting a chance to review a game. What game is that, you may ask? Well, HeroQuest. Now, some of you may ask, what exactly is that? Well, it is a fantasy adventure board game, sort of a dungeon crawl kind of deal, where you take the role of one of 4 heroes to explore dungeons, find treasure, and defeat evil. Well, today we're actually reviewing the newest release from the HeroQuest line. This is HeroQuest First Light. Now, you may ask, why have I got both boxes up here? Well, the thing is, First Light is actually sort of a reboxing of the original re-release of HeroQuest back in 2021, which is also predecessor to the original HeroQuest that was, I think, late 80s or early 90s. I can't remember which. But this right here, as you can see though, is different in some ways. First off, you can tell the size of the boxes. This thing is huge. And this thing's about the regular size of some of the expansions that have already came out. But another difference is this box right here comes with plastic monsters as well as furniture, besides, of course, the heroes. This one has replaced the plastic monsters and furniture with cardboard. Now, that's one of the downsides in that, and I'll get to that in a second. Also, it has an additional figure, which can be seen on the box right here, which is a dragon. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. It also has an all-new quest book and 10 new quests to start people that are playing HeroQuest on. See, that's the thing. This was the introductory box. This one gave you 14 quests, and this was supposed to introduce players to the world of HeroQuest. This one does the same thing, but it does it with 10 quests on a new storyline. They sort of run simultaneously in the storyline timeline kind of thing. So it's sort of confusing there, and I'll once again get to that in a second. But I wanted to unbox this here on this channel and also give my thoughts on it. So without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. What do you say? All right. Now, before we get started opening up this lovely box here, I want you to pay attention to the artwork here. This was not the original artwork. There was a big controversy over this. Apparently, the original designer of the box art had used AI to design it, and it was like blatantly obvious. So, after the community of HeroQuest players complained about this, because they are really against AI art, they've changed it to this beautiful cover, which personally, I've seen both covers, and I do prefer this one, definitely. It definitely catches that theme that HeroQuest has been trying to portray throughout its releases. But first off, I guess we got to get this wrapping off, so let's get our knife out. But we got to do this carefully. Turn the box around, and you see that's what all comes into this right here. So I'm going to be careful just to create a little slit. I don't want to cut the box itself. I'm a big collector after all. Let's try it on this side. Maybe I can do a better route closer to me. It's kind of hard. It's going to cause problems. Maybe I can do it with my fingernail better, because I don't want to cut the box. Let's see. I can just get it started. I think I just did. Come on. Hey, man. There it goes. Okay, we got the tear. Woo! Only one piece. Only ever one piece. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting it going. Oh, we're gonna have to find some way to keep the dragon sticker that's on this plastic. I like it. Right there. Let's see if I can get you a closer look at that now. Might want to get it off the box first. But there you go. That's the figure that is in this box, as one of the few plastic figures you actually get. Alright, Here we go. Woo. All right, nothing on the inside cover. Whole bunch of stuff. I like the little stuff they got around the sides, like the dragon scales and the quest is calling. Rest this plastic out of the way so my kitty cat won't start chewing on it. All right, we got here our character sheets. The original one has a lot thicker pad than this. Also, this one doesn't have any backing. This also has a different coloring. I think the other ones are more grayish. This obviously is a purple tint. I'm guessing kind of go with the motif of what they're going for the box art. But these are how you keep track of your characters. Through name, what the character is, how many attack dice. Don't worry about the mechanics. If you need me to explain them, let me know in the comments. The attack dice, defend dice, your body points, your mind points, what quests you completed, what gold coins you have, what potions and other items you have, weapons and armor, all that good stuff. Basically, anyone who's ever played a role-playing game or anything similar, they know what this is all about. But yeah, that's just extra for me. Then, the quest book. All kinds of goodies in here. This is where the adventures are stored. And this is for the eyes of Zargon only. Zargon is the game master of the game. Like in Dungeons & Dragons, that would be either game master or dungeon master. But he sort of plays an antagonistic role here. Zargon is the main bad guy. So he controls everything on the board. And I love being Zargon. But I also want to play more as a player. When I get a chance to actually make some videos of play sessions that I'm going to be doing. But yeah, so got a quest book. We got our rule book, and I want to see what kind of changes they've made to this, because or make things clearer for newer players, and explain rules that were always vague. Because the original, some of the rules were very vague, and you had to interpret them yourself, sort of, to play the game. But in a way, that was sort of the charm about the game. You can make it your own, homebrew it, so to speak. But it'll be interesting to see what changes they made to the rule book, and I'll get into that in a little bit. All right, we got the Zargon screen. Cardboard thinner. I think it's smaller also. I like the art. But I do like the art of the newer one, actually, excuse me, not the newer one, but the re-release version. I also like the actual original version, because I've got the original. It's somewhere in the apartment. I just don't know where at the moment. But I lost track of what I was going to say. But yeah, we'll be playing the new 2021 re-release when that time comes. Obviously, everything scales smaller. No, they scale bigger than the original, so they wouldn't match up. Like the squares. Once again, that's all technical terms. The point is, we'll be using the 2021 release when it comes time to do videos. But there's the gaming screen. It has all kinds of information for Zargon to keep track of, from monster statistics, instructions on different parts of the play and whatnot. So that's pretty nice. And even has the dragon up here, something that was not in either the original nor the re-release. These are tokens that can be used throughout the game. We have the skull tokens, which are meant to keep track of body points of monsters. I use them also for when somebody searches for traps, to put it on the square and says, hey, that's where the trap's at. So, also, we got folding rock traps. We got stone walls to block off corridors. These are the double ones. We got the stairs where most of the times the quests start on. We have pit traps. This is meant to represent mentor or whatever you want in the game. It's never really used in the original. I heard that in this one is actually given a use. And these are double-sided. These are the single block tiles. Like I said, they're to represent blocked corridors. I have my own replacements for these. I've got blocks. Hold on. I got one. No, I don't have one handy. I thought I had one handy. Well, I think I got one unpainted ready. Yeah, right here. well, this one's painted, but not the way I'm gonna do it. But I've gotten these wooden cubes, and I'm painting them. I'm gonna be painting them up in the gray and whatnot. And this is gonna be the walls represented on my game board. So that's gonna take the place of these. It's also like I've got pieces to represent secret doors, because that's what these are. These are the secret doors. This right here is grating. Sewer grating. I've not seen any use for them in the game yet. This is a second version of the stairs, and this is to represent Zargon, the opposite side of Mentor. Mentor is your sort of your good guy, Obi-Wan type. He kind of gives you information about the quest that you're going to take and gives you advice and whatnot along the way. But Zargon, of course, is the evil bad guy, and this is supposed to represent him. But yeah, we got those tokens. Now, here is what I was talking about earlier. The original re-release, as well as the original, had three-dimensional furniture. Now, the original had sort of cardboard mixed with plastic to make the 3D models for the furniture, while the new re-release had officially all plastic furniture. It's way better. I love it. This, on the other hand, is boring, to be honest with you. This is another part of it I probably won't use, but it's supposed to represent the furniture that was in the original HeroQuest game. From the fireplace, to the cupboard, to the armory, to 2 bookcases, 2 tables, a torture rack, the tomb, the spell table, and the alchemist, can't speak, the alchemist bench. But there are more furniture pieces, and I will get to them in a second. But yeah, this is 2-dimensional, supposed to lay out on the board, flat, uninteresting. And you know what? The artwork kind of reminds me of images from the HeroQuest game app. It allows you to play the game without a Zargon. It controls all the monsters while you play as the heroes. And the artwork that represents the furnitures and the furniture pieces in the game sort of look like this. So that's probably what they did there. They reused the images. But, it is what it is. But that's why I said this game comes at a cheaper price point. The actual re-release game system is like $120 or $130, while this was only $49.99. So you kind of get what you pay for there. Especially trying to pack so much into this small box, you had to cut some corners somewhere. But next piece here is, well, monsters. These are to represent the monsters in the game, and they give you the same amount of monsters that are actually in the re-release and the original. It's got like 2 mummies. What the hell's a mummy? I don't know. 2 mummies, 2 zombies, 8 orcs. They're all right. I think they're all right here. No, there's 6 of them right here. Oh, 7. Okay, there you are. 4 right there, 4 right there. Then you got 6 goblins. You have your Dread Warlock, your Gargoyle, and your 4 Dread Warriors. Now, what's interesting here is they've added rat tokens, and I don't know if they're being used anywhere yet, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, they're 2-sided, but they're standees, basically. They're not full plastic figures like the re-release and the original. So I know somewhere in this box are the stands for them, but I mean, they're cool. But besides the rats, and there was 4 of them apparently, I don't see no real use I'm going to have in them. And I don't even know if I'm going to use the rats, because I've got a supplier that does miniatures, and he has rats, 3-dimensional versions. But okay, got monsters. Looks like we have some more monsters here. These are what are called abominations. Now, they replaced the original monsters in the game. They were called Fimers in the original, or Famirs. I don't know how it's pronounced. I always pronounced it Fimers. But, see, all this came from originally Game Workshop. Those are the ones who originally came up with all the monster stuff and the storyline and whatnot. But Milton Bradley took over this project and made it HeroQuest. And sooner or later, of course, it went out of business and Hasbro took over, and well, here we are today. So instead of Fimers, we got Abomination. It's like some of the other monsters, because originally it was Chaos and Chaos Warlocks, Chaos Warriors, but they couldn't use the terminology Chaos anymore. I don't understand why. It's some kind of licensing thing, I know that, but I don't know why. And I think the Fimers had like a very controversial history in the game, in the original Games Workshop. And that might have been a reason why they changed that. But you can also see this comes with the rest of the furniture that I was talking about, where it comes with 3 treasure chests and a throne, as well as the doors. Now, once again, these particular ones are gonna stand up on standees. This to represent closed doors, and these to represent open doors. Now, another difference I've noticed is there's no way to punch out the middle. In the original, when they did do cardboard, now this is more like the original, but they had this piece right here punch out so you could actually see through the door. But I guess it's better to do it that way. It's a solid piece now, because the originals used to get really messed up and bent up, and it just sucked. It happened with the furniture too. It's like I said, it's why I'm probably not gonna use these for when I play. I've got the plastic stuff instead. It's much cooler than this. But yeah, there's an, oh, I almost popped one out. Not ready to pop you out. I don't think I'm going to pop you out. Stay in there. All right. Moving right along. Now this next one, I don't think I'm going to be able to fold out. Yeah, I don't think it'll all fit on camera anyways. But this right here is the game board. It's 2-sided. It comes with a new map, which is another new thing about this particular box. It's got a cavern setting, and of course it has the original HeroQuest board. Let's see if I can open it up. You can see the beginning of the, ooh, sorry, bumped the camera. Told you it's big. It's humongous. Oh, not a fan of the material really. All right, but yeah, okay, we'll get on camera. This side is the original board. It didn't have any doors, obviously, because you put the doors up there as the heroes explore the dungeon. And not every room was used for every quest. That's what made it so unique. It's like, you could be going down here, and one quest you could go that way, another quest is blocked off. This room could be open in one, but closed off in another. It was a way to make multiple different maps out of one thing. I always wish, though, they had made more. And now, luckily, flipping it over, they have. Give me a second here with these flimsy. That's what I don't like about the flimsiness of it. But this is the cavern side. You see different rooms laid out, and it's got a cavern motif to it. This is going to be cool to make some quests for. I'm really looking forward to that, as well as seeing how it is represented in the new quest book. Because there are quests that are on this side, obviously. But this is the board overall. Really cool, really cool, really cool. I was really looking forward to seeing the board. Like I said, though, I really wish they made it out of a better material. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna tear it every time every time I move the pieces. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Now we get to these figures here in a second. First, let me get this stuff out. All right. These are the dice for HeroQuest. First off, we have the movement dice. Now, just like any other game, you have to roll this to see how many spaces you can move on the board each turn. Now, the monsters don't have to do this because they already have a set movement rate on each and every one of their cards that they move by. So they don't have to roll this. So only the heroes need these dice. Now, these dice are special. These are the combat dice. This is what determines the outcome of each and every attack in the game, from the hero's attack to the monster's attack. Now, no matter which one makes the attack, a roll of a skull means a hit. For every skull you roll, you take a body point of damage off of your opponent. Now, they have a chance to make a defense. It depends on who's doing the defense, though, what the results mean. If it's the heroes, any white shield they roll in defense blocks one skull. So if you taken two skulls, or so I say 2 body points of damage from an attack, if you get 2 shields, you've blocked it. Otherwise, you take body points. But now, when the monsters roll, they have to get a black shield to defend. So for every black shield they roll, it negates one of the skulls rolled by the heroes. But so that's what these are used for. These are used for combat. They're also used in other special circumstances, but that's getting into too much into the game mechanics, and we're not going to do that here. So lovely dice. This dice, the combat dice are actually looks like they're a little bit different. I mean, the originals were in white, but these look like, I don't know, bone white, a little off color. So that may be the case. I'll make a comparison with them in a little bit. But all right, we got the dice. Now, this is a little bit of a controversy kind of thing right here. Some say this part right here, you see it's got a design on the interior, but some say this is meant to be like a thing to roll dice in. I don't know. It looks like it could be. The material's right for it. I won't use it for that. I'll just leave it right here. I think dice will end up messing it up after a while anyways. I've got my own, like I said, I've got my own little thing to roll dice in. So this right here, of course, these are the standees for all the monsters and the doors. And it's just basic concept. You put the little pieces into there and they stand up. So, and then, like I said, something we're not going to need. I'm going to be using the actual monsters from the original game and doors from there. So, but nice to know we have that. Now this is going to be a little bit of fun. These are the cards for HeroQuest. There are many different cards here. So, gonna have to open them up. Take off one band. Alright. Take off that. Now, let's see here. Put these over here. And these right here are your heroes cards. These right here will show you the stats of each and a different hero, and there's different heroes in different expansion packs, but for the main ones, it's always been the barbarian, the dwarf, the elf, and the wizard. And it shows you like I said, your stats, which are the attack die, the defend die, how many body points you have, how many mind points you have, what is your movement, which they all have 2 red die. I don't know. And speaking of which, that's one of the things I was mentioning earlier, is the fact that the earlier editions had red die. So that's what's used for movement. These are now no longer red, so that can be kind of confusing maybe to new players. It's like, what red die? I don't know what you're talking about. But it also shows the starting weapon and starting armor, which for most, with the exception of one character I know in another expansion part, most of them start with no armor. And Barbarian starts with a broadsword, Dwarf starts with a hand axe, Elf starts with a short sword, and the Wizard starts with a dagger. And about the best as he's going to get, because the only improvement for the Wizard weapon-wise is a staff. But those are the hero cards. Next up, we have the reference cards. Each player will get one of these. It lets them know what they can do in their turn. It also, let's see what else it does. It also tells you how to do certain actions that you can do on each turn. It explains a short form on how to do that. They had something like this with the other one, so these are different though. So I'll get into that in a little bit. Let's see, next on the list. Oh, these are the spell cards that'll be used by the Wizard and Elf. The Wizard having 3 of these, and the Elf having the last one. They're based off the elements. You have water, fire, earth, and water. And each of them have 3 spells, and you can cast these spells during your turn in the game. Each only can using using them each once in a quest. So you only have 9 as a wizard. Once you use those, you're spellless. Put that over there. Okay, this next section of the deck, it's going to be quite a few cards here. Oh, too much. Too many. Alright. This deck right here is the treasure deck. Now, when you are searching for treasure in the game, if there is not a specific treasure given, you gotta forgive me. It's been a while since I've done reviews, so I may get a little tongue-tied here and there. But if there is no specific treasure listed in the quest book for you to find, then you draw a card from this, and whatever the result is what happens. For instance, let's see. I want to search for treasure. Wandering monster means you were attacked by a random, well, it's not a random, by a wandering monster as you are searching for treasure. And usually there's one listed in the quest book on which one you're supposed to use for that particular quest. So, but that can happen. Let's see. You can find a hazard, another bad thing that can happen, where basically it's like almost like a trap or something that you fall into. And then there's stuff like 50 gold coins. You can find a potion of defense. You could find a potion of healing. These are scattered throughout the deck, and beginning of each quest, they shuffle the cards here, so they're randomized. And like I said, when you search for treasure, nothing specific, pick a card. But that's what those are for. Alright, now these next ones are really special. Well, dang, where's the last one of them? Okay, there we go. This is the artifact deck. Now, this is a very special treasure deck right here. You don't pick these randomly. They are usually described in the quest book when you get them. They could be hiding in a bookcase, on a spell table, whatever. Wherever they are located at, this is what you get when you search and find something very specific. And they're usually very powerful magic items like Borin's Armor, Elixir of Life, Fortune's Longsword, Orc's Bane, and so on. So, whenever they get that specific treasure, Zargon gives them a card from this deck. And it explains exactly what this item can be used for. So, nice lovely deck there. Alright, put that over there. Next, let me pick these up to do this. Alright, now these next ones are more like reference cards. But basically, this is the monster deck. And on this deck, they have the stats for every monster that you can face in the game out of the basic monsters, except for the dragon. Oh, that's not the dragon though. The dragon, there you go. The dragon card. But it gives you the stats, just like the hero cards. But this one gives movement spaces because, like I said, each and every monster has their own individual statistic for movement. Like the Abomination can move 6 spaces, Dread Warrior can move 7, up to 7 I should say, up to. Gargoyle can move up to 6, and so on and so forth. It's also got the same thing with attack dice, defend dice, body points, and mind points. But this is, like I said, for every monster that you'll face in this quest pack. So, no change there, same as previous release, so nothing changed there. Next, let's see here. Oh, all right. This deck is special for Zargon. These are the Dread spells. These cards right here will explain the magic that Zargon can use for one of his monsters. It will be specified once again in the quest book, but these are different spells that can be used throughout, and when, of course, creating your own quest, you can obviously use these on any monster you please. Most of the time, it's usually on a big boss or something. But there's all different kinds of spells here. There's Ball of Flame, Cloud of Dread, Command, Escape, and so on and so forth. So, nothing, I think with some of these cards, obviously, I think the wording was changed a little bit from the original, supposedly to make it easier to understand what the intentions were for how they would be used. We're going to see about that in a little while. All right, and the next, let's see what we got. Oh, okay, the last remainder. This is the equipment deck. Now, this is what heroes can buy in between quests, and of course some of them start with some of this stuff, but it explains the different weapons, armors, and certain items, and potions that they can buy in between quests and use. You can get stuff like battle axes, bracers, broadsword, which the barbarian starts with, chainmail, crossbow. They also got some potions in this particular one. Holy water, where I think there's where's the potion of speed. So basically this is equipment, and the basic idea is that when you get something, you get one of these cards. There's not enough cards realistically to give every individual item. Like if all 4 heroes, I know it can't be done with the wizard, but if all 4 heroes had like the short sword, then they would get a short sword card. But there's not 4 short sword cards in here. So realistically, they're more of a reference than anything than the actual what your inventory is. So, but they're cool. I am making my own deck of this so every hero can have their own copy of whatever equipment they have. So, and it's really simple. There's a company called makingcards.com, and they do custom cards. I already did a treasure deck, so, and I added some of my own treasures in there. Yeah, I love it, absolutely. But that's all the cards. Now, finally, on to the good stuff. We'll get to you last. Alright. These... Oh, let me pop them out. You stubborn, ain't you? Oh. I don't like these plastic trays. I've got my own thing for them, though. Oh, okay. Alright. These right here are the heroes that will represent your character in the game. You have your barbarian, your dwarf, your elf, and your wizard. Now, there are, like I said, there are other kinds of characters. There's characters like a warlock, a druid, a bard, a knight, a monk, rogue, and I can't think of any others right offhand right now. Oh, berserker, explorer, and I'm gonna have some of my own that I create. I'm including a ranger, a cleric, I think also a paladin. But these represent, they're the same 4 heroes that were in the first game. The only difference is these are different sculpts. These obviously even look a little different color-wise. They don't look as red as the other ones, but I'll make a comparison, like I said, in a little bit with that. But I love this. This is the part of the game that makes this so enchanting, is these figures. They're so cool, man. I usually do a pretty good job at them, too. So, yeah. New barbarian. Woo! But, like I said, 4 heroes. And now, the big boy himself. You have the dragon. Oh, man. I don't like it as much as the dragon that supposedly came with another quest pack, but it was part of what's called a mythic tier. You had to be a backer of the original re-release to get it. If you try to, you may be able to get it now, but you're pretty much going to sell some kidneys to get that now. But I do know someone that makes a really good close copy of it, and I'm planning on getting that myself because I never got the mythic tier. I just at the time I wasn't able to do it, and I didn't know how far they would get along with it to actually how far it would get down production line. So a little nervous about backing a game like that. I mean, I love the game. I've always loved the game since it first came out way back in the day. I was one of the original people that bought the game, so. But I do still like the fact that there is a dragon. Nice, like, smoky color, almost got like a metallic look to them. But yeah, it's just I feel the complaint that several people have made about it, that the stance is all wrong. You know, it's like a demonic gargoyle, and you've already got a gargoyle in the game. So, but yeah, now that I have them in my hand, I'm cool with them. I'm cool. So, dragon, woo! Alright, here's the comparison of the hero figures. I got each hero standing to their respective counterpart in the original re-release. First off, I got the barbarians right here. I got our elves right here. These two are the wizard. And finally, the dwarves. And of course, I had to stand in by the dragon for a size comparison there. But now that I see them, there is definitely a difference in coloring in the plastic. The newer ones are more, definitely a lighter red or different color plastic. So it's, you know, it is what it is. But it's cool. It's cool to have 4 new figures of two versions of the characters for a little bit of variety in gameplay. So that's cool. And that with the dragon, he's gonna get him. He's gonna get all the heroes. Here we got a comparison of the monsters in the game. I've got the official monsters from the re-release standing on each of the cutouts of their respective counterpart in the new release. You over here, you got the Abomination with the cutout right there. Then you got the Dread Warlock right here. The Zombie, Mummy, Skeletons, Goblins. You got your orcs right here, Gargoyles, and Dread Warriors. Now, one thing I've noticed since having a chance to look at these, and it appears the images have been taken directly off of the monster cards that are in the deck. So, I guess that's one way to save a buck, right? You don't have to create no new artwork, just take it right off the old stuff. So, that works. But like I said, I'm not really going to use these. I don't see it being done anytime in the near future, so I'll be sticking with these boys. Now, something I didn't explain about the heroes that I did personally, since I wanted to store them and stand them upright, what I did was I've taken some containers, some plastic containers, and put a magnet sheet on underneath, or should I, not underneath, but in the container. And on each figure, I put these little round magnets, I glued them on, so that way, when it's time to put them up, you just put them right in the box and he'll stay in his position. Now, they're not super secure. If I shake it too much, they will slide in the box, but for the most part, they stay in place, and I think it's rather cool. And I will be doing so with the heroes when I get a chance. I'll be gluing the magnetic base around the bottom of this, so that should be cool. For a little bit of fun, I decided to pop a few out and put them in their appropriate stands just to see how they'd look, and I decided to show a comparison of them. So, you know, obviously we got our plastic versions from the re-release and the new standees. It's not too bad. Here's the doors right here. They're closed and open doors. And, of course, the re-release version, which, of course, I'm going to like this better, but it's still cool. I mean, for a beginner set, because that's what this really is. It's a beginner set. But it does have things in it that, like, collectors like me would want for HeroQuest, with the new quest packs and the new hero models and the dragon. But it's cool. I think some of them are a little tall, like the Dread Warlock and the Dread Warrior, compared to the actual figures. The other monsters, about on par. Maybe the Gargoyle may be a little too tall, but yeah, this is what you have for monster presentation. Go with plastic. Here are the actual pieces of furniture that are in the re-release. As you see, all plastic. Cool little additions like this opens up. But yeah, this compared to this right here, these are the two-dimensional pieces here used for that, for the new one. Yeah, I'll stick with these all the way. I mean, the detail, man, it's just so cool, and it adds a lot to the dungeon when you're playing the game. But also, I brought out my original dice for the re-release. There's the movement dice and the combat dice, and likewise with the new release. Now noticing them, yeah, they're definitely an off-color white compared to the original combat die. And like I told you earlier, these are red with white pips. Well, of course, these are the original. Oh, not the original, but these are white with red pips. So definitely a difference there. But it just adds another set of dice to my game, and it's always a good thing because you like to have a set for each hero and Zargon to play with. Now, of course, that means you only need about 4 of these and 5 sets of these, but I got that covered, and they're all in different colors. I got green, I got orange, I got blue, and I got another white set. So, plenty of dice. I don't have plenty of movement dice, though. Need some more movement dice. But there we go with a comparison on that. Now we're going to compare booklets here. Now, obviously, with there being 2 different quest sets here, they'll be different, but there's the 2 quest books. There's the original and the new one. And they, like I said earlier, they're one has 14 quests, this one has 10, but both of these sets are supposed to be happening simultaneously with 2 different sets of heroes, but I'm going to change that in my big campaign. I'm going to mix these together and make them one super quest line. So, but yeah, I like the new design, but I'll admit, after going with this design for so long, it's going to be, it's still like, that's different, a little too different, but oh well. They'll probably go more of this, like this design for the cover from now on for quest books. We'll see. Nothing yet concrete down the pipeline for what's coming next. But and these are the rule books. This is the new, of course, this is the newer one, and this is the one from the first re-release. I haven't yet gone too far into detail about differences in how the instructions are laid out. I have looked through this one now, and it definitely is different. It's laid out differently, and I'll have to delve deeper to find out if it really explains the game way better than this version. But anyways, like I said, I think they're probably going to go with this aesthetic for the rest of any other quest packs they released. So, but only time will tell. Like I said, nothing concrete in the pipeline. There are definitely some rumors of 2 new quest packs after this, but it's not written in stone and nothing's been announced. So, anyways, what are my final thoughts on this? Well, after looking at all the figures and checking out the books and looking through the cards and even examining the board, yeah, I think it is worth it. I mean, it's a good way to introduce new players to the game without breaking their wallet, and at the same time, it gives us old players enough to sink our teeth into for some new content. I mean, it's not a full-on quest pack like some of the other stuff where everything is new, but I think there's enough there to hold your interest. Now, I understand that some may think with what little you do get new, like the new sculpts, the dragon, the new quest pack booklet, as well as the new board, might not be enough to entice you to buy it. And I understand. This is really a matter of taste and what you want for your game. But overall, I think it's a great addition. And definitely most collectors will agree with me probably. So, what's my rating for this? It gets 4 thumbs up of approval from Krimson. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3, and that's 4. So definitely for those who want to try this out, go. It is being sold at Target here in the U.S. It is being sold by Hasbro Pulse in other countries. So I'm not sure of if every other country has it in Hasbro Pulse. But I do know in America it's definitely only sold in Target for now. I think later on they will put it on Hasbro Pulse here in America. But so anyways, we're going to wrap this up here on Krimson's Korner Reviews. I guess that's what we're going to call this now. You'll tell by the title anyways. You could tell me. So anyways, if you happen to like this content and you want to catch more, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to check out what's soon to be more new releases on my other channel, Road to the Ride. It's the journey that I'm taking to try to create a bike ride across America to raise money for cancer research, as well as a organization called Cancer Care. So check that out. I got it in the cards as well as down in the description. Become part of that and, you know, support what you can. Also, speaking of support, if you want to help this channel out, there is a link down in the description for thing called Buy Me a Coffee, and that's where you can donate to creators and help them out and support their channel that way. You don't have to do it though. There's no obligation or any of kind. Yeah, but if you do want to help, the link is down below. You can donate as much as you want. I think there's a subscription thing in there. I'm not 100% certain. I'm still kind of new to it, but check it out. Give a little if you want. Other than that, well, I guess I will catch you on the next one here on Krimson's Korner. So this is Krimson taking his leave and signing off. Good night.